Thank you for tuning in to LeadDeveloper.com, where we simplify complex property development feasibilities, investment analysis, and everything real estate. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, our Google Sheets-based feasibility suite streamlines the toughest aspects of real estate. Lead Developer Feasibility Suite is trusted by thousands in over 17 countries. Our tools cover everything from quick assessments to detailed cash flow projections and more. Sign up today at LeadDeveloper.com for unlimited free access to our expanding library of real estate tools. No credit card needed. Plus, get full support through Edge with step-by-step guidance, exclusive courses, and resources designed for your success. Turn numbers into narratives that win over investors and lenders. Join Lead Developer now.
Welcome to our deep dive into property development.
Ooh, exciting.
We've got a stack of articles and notes here.
Right.
And one piece really caught my eye.
Oh, yeah. Which one?
It's called My Secret Property Development Process.
Interesting.
And it claims to be like a roadmap to success in property development.
That's a good one.
So have you read it?
Yeah, I have.
What did you think?
The author really gets into the nitty-gritty of the whole process, and they don't just like skim the surface.
Yeah.
They break it down in a way that's super practical and insightful.
Right from the get-go, they talk about mindset, and it's not just your typical, positive thinking stuff.
No, not at all.
What do they say about it?
They basically say that to be successful in property development, you need a very specific mindset.
What kind of mindset?
They compare it to like a marathon runner's tenacity. Combined with the strategic thinking of a chess player.
Interesting combination.
Because property development throws a lot of curveballs at you.
Right.
So you need that perseverance, but also the ability to think strategically and make decisions under pressure.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's not for the faint of heart.
Definitely not.
So listener, think about it.
Yeah.
Are you someone who thrives in those situations where things are constantly changing and you have to make quick decisions?
It's a crucial question to ask yourself.
Yeah.
If you're thinking about getting into property development.
Now, I know a lot of people talk about the traditional 5-stage model of property development.
The basics?
Yeah, the basics. But this author actually challenges that model.
Really?
They call it overly simplistic.
Okay.
They actually propose a 14-phase process instead.
Wow, a 14-phase process-driven system, they call it.
That's a big difference.
It is.
Why do you think they advocate for this more expanded approach?
Well, think of it this way.
Okay.
The 5-stage model is like trying to build a house with only a hammer. With the author's 14-phase approach, you get a whole toolbox.
I like that analogy.
You get tools for market analysis, financial modeling, stakeholder mapping, every step of the way.
So you're better equipped.
Exactly.
Yeah.
From the foundation to the finishing touches.
And one of the tools they highlight is the concept of feasibility.
Oh, yeah, they're big on feasibility studies.
They even have this tool called the Smart Feasibility Calculator.
Right. It helps you quickly assess whether a project is worth pursuing before you invest a ton of time and money.
So you're not wasting time on projects that are doomed from the start.
Exactly. And they claim it can give you 80% accuracy in just 2 minutes.
2 minutes? Really?
That's what they say.
It's impressive.
It's like a financial detective for your property development ideas.
I gotta check that out.
You should. But even with a quick assessment, it's important to really dive deep into the financials.
Yeah.
And that's where gross development value comes in. Yeah, or GDV for short.
Yeah.
It helps you understand the potential value of your development.
And they recommend using the Residual Valuation Method to calculate this.
Right.
I think that might be a new concept for some of our listeners. Can you break that down a bit?
Sure. Think of it like baking a cake.
Okay, I like where this is going.
You know, the cost of your ingredients, the size of the cake you want, and how much profit you want to make.
Right.
The Residual Valuation Method is like figuring out if you can afford the right kind of oven to bake that cake and still make a profit.
That's a great analogy.
It helps you make sure your project is financially viable.
So we've talked about mindset, this expanded 14-phase process, and the importance of feasibility. But property development isn't a solo sport, right?
No, it's definitely a team effort.
The author talks about the importance of stakeholders.
Yeah, they emphasize that a lot.
Who are these stakeholders?
Architects, surveyors, engineers, lawyers. The whole team.
It takes a village to build a development.
It does. And they even provide a visual stakeholder map to help you picture this network.
So it's like your property development dream team roster.
Exactly.
It's something to think about.
For sure.
Have you ever considered who you would want on your team?
It's a good exercise.
Yeah, I think so too.
And remember, it's not just about assembling the team,
Right.
but understanding each stakeholder's role and responsibilities.
Yeah, like in any team.
Yeah, it's about making sure everyone knows their position and how to play together effectively.
Now, once you've got your team, it's time to navigate construction.
The exciting part.
But the author doesn't just focus on that phase.
No, they go beyond that.
What else do they cover?
Things like securing titles,
Okay.
managing progress claims.
Uh-huh.
They're big on thinking several steps ahead.
That's smart.
It is. They even have a tip about securing titles before completion to minimize interest costs.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's all about optimizing cash flow.
Which is crucial. Now, while construction is going on, you also need to be thinking about your post-development strategy.
That's right.
So, will you sell the property, hold on to it, or refinance?
Big decisions.
The author provides some insights on that, too.
They do.
It's like having a mentor guiding you through the whole process.
Exactly. They've been there, done that,
Right.
and they're sharing all their secrets.
I love that. Welcome back to our deep dive into property development.
Yeah, we're just getting started.
It's amazing how much insight this author packs into their writing.
They really know their stuff.
One thing that stood out to me
Yeah.
was their idea of listening to the property market.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
What do they mean by that?
Well, they talk about understanding the market cycle
Okay.
and being able to interpret those little shifts that can make or break a project.
So it's like being a detective.
Exactly.
No.
Like a real estate Sherlock Holmes.
Catching those clues that everyone else misses.
Yeah. They call it market signal analysis.
Market signal analysis. Okay, I like that. So it's not just about finding an empty lot.
No, it's about understanding what's going on in the market.
The bigger picture.
Exactly.
Right.
And that leads into another cool concept, spatial analysis.
Spatial analysis. Okay, now we're getting technical.
It sounds fancy,
Yeah.
but it's actually pretty simple. Imagine you're looking at a map of a city,
Okay.
and you've got all this data about property sales, demographics, zoning,
Okay, yeah.
all that stuff. Spatial analysis helps you use that data
Uh-huh.
to visualize trends and support your assumptions.
So you can see where the opportunities are.
Yeah, exactly. They even suggest plotting sales data on maps,
Oh, interesting.
almost like those crime scene maps on TV, but for property.
That's a great visual. So we've got market signal analysis, spatial analysis, and then comes due diligence.
Ah, yes, due diligence. That's where the real work begins.
That's where you really dig deep.
Like doing a background check on a property
Okay.
before you commit to a long-term relationship.
Make sure there are no hidden surprises.
Exactly. And they provide a pretty comprehensive checklist
Oh, that's helpful.
to make sure you're covering all your bases.
Because it's easy to miss something.
Oh, yeah, there are a lot of moving parts. And don't forget about risk management,
Right. That's a big part of it.
a huge part.
Yeah.
Property development is all about taking calculated risks.
Not just jumping in blindly.
Exactly. You got to identify those potential problems early on
Yeah.
and have a plan to deal with them.
And this is where that smart feasibility calculator comes in handy, right?
Exactly. That 2-minute financial detective we talked about.
Mhm.
But they also mention a more comprehensive tool
Okay.
called the Property Development Feasibility Study Software.
So you've got options depending on how deep you want to go.
Exactly. Now, another important piece of the puzzle is development finance.
Ah, the money part.
The author breaks it down into stages.
Yeah.
Land finance,
Okay.
construction loan, and post-completion finance.
So you're securing funding as you go.
Exactly.
Mm.
And each stage has its own set of requirements.
Lenders want to see progress before they give you more money.
It makes sense.
That's-
They want to know you can handle it.
Like, show me what you got. And then, of course, there's the whole world of valuations.
Yeah, that's where understanding the residual valuation method comes in handy.
The cake analogy.
Exactly. Helps you figure out what the property's really worth.
Okay, so we've got financing figured out. We know the value.
Yeah.
What's next?
Site acquisition.
Ah, the exciting part. Negotiating, legal stuff, getting your team together.
All of that. And remember, your long-term plan plays a big role here too. Will you sell, hold, or refinance?
Yeah, because that affects everything.
Big time. It's like planning your exit strategy.
Before you even start.
Exactly.
Man, this is like a giant jigsaw puzzle
It is.
where every piece has to fit just right.
That's a great way to put it. And once you got the site, it's on to construction.
The real action begins.
They emphasize understanding construction contracts, managing those progress claims,
Yeah.
all that good stuff. And they remind us about securing titles before completion.
To save on interest.
Exactly. Smart move.
There's so much to keep track of during construction.
There is. But they also highlight the importance of pre-sales.
Ah, yes. Getting those buyers lined up.
Especially these days. Lenders are more cautious now.
After the financial crisis.
Exactly. So pre-sales could be crucial for getting that construction loan.
Gotta prove there's demand.
Exactly. And speaking of the long game, they're big on building a sustainable property investment portfolio.
Not just flipping properties for a quick buck.
Exactly. They're all about that long-term growth.
And that ties into their whole no money down philosophy.
Right. It's not about tricks or get-rich-quick schemes.
It's about building expertise and becoming someone investors trust.
Exactly. They're all about building a solid reputation and a sustainable business.
We're back for the final part of our property development deep dive.
Time flies when you're talking about property.
It really does. I'm still processing all the insights we've uncovered about this whole world of property development.
Me too. It's fascinating stuff.
Absolutely fascinating. And, you know, speaking of insights, one thing that really caught my attention was the author's advice on putting together a project report.
Oh, yeah. They make that sound like a must-have.
More than just like a basic document.
Right, right. They actually highlight 3 key reasons to create this report.
Okay, what are they?
First, it helps ensure you've got a solid business case for your project.
Okay, makes sense.
Second, it shows lenders that you're organized and have a thorough plan.
So it builds credibility.
Exactly. And third, it demonstrates your expertise to potential investors.
It's like a marketing tool, too.
Exactly. It's like having a blueprint for success all packaged up in a professional document.
That's a great way to put it. And, you know, for those interested in that no money down approach, this report becomes even more critical.
Oh, absolutely. Because it's all about building trust with investors.
Showing them you've got a well thought out plan and you're not just... Exactly. And speaking of plans, let's talk about property investment strategies. The author shared some thumb rules that really resonated with me.
Yeah, they're simple but effective, aren't they?
Really effective. Do you remember what they were?
Acquire properties below market value and ensure they generate neutral or positive cash flow.
Those are golden rules. It's like a recipe for building wealth over time.
It is. And they even suggest using the equity from your developed properties to fund future projects.
So it's like this cycle of growth and reinvestment.
Exactly. Creating a system where your successes compound over time.
It's brilliant. So, listener, take a moment to reflect on this. Are you thinking of doing a one-off project? Or are you picturing yourself building a whole property development business?
That's the question.
Because the resources and insights we've talked about can help you achieve either goal.
That's the great thing about this. It can be tailored to your ambitions.
Absolutely. And, you know, one thing I keep coming back to is the author's emphasis on mindset.
Yeah, that's crucial in this field.
It's not just about the numbers. It's about having the resilience and the problem-solving skills.
The grit.
The grit to overcome challenges and setbacks.
Because, let's face it, every property development project will have its challenges.
Absolutely. The author even mentioned a Negotiate for Advantage course as part of their property development system.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Which highlights how important negotiation skills are in this business.
People skills are just as vital as financial skills in this game.
So true. It's all about building relationships and finding win-win solutions.
Couldn't agree more.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, listener, I want to leave you with this question.
Okay.
Are you feeling inspired to explore the world of property development?
I hope so.
Because the knowledge and the tools and the mindset shifts we've discussed today can absolutely help you take that first step.
It's all about taking that knowledge and turning it into action.
Exactly. And remember, it's a journey, not a race.
There's always something new to learn in this field.
Absolutely. So keep learning, keep exploring, and keep building your dreams.
That's the perfect way to put it.
And with that, we'll wrap up this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.
It's been a pleasure. Until next time.